my spirit went out of me, my soul, my being. I wasn't the same person as I was. Like heavy tranquilizers, and to have that pumped into you, aggressively, it's a bad experience. And I felt totally different after it. I wasn't Devon anymore, I was someone completely different. And that's when I think I had a mental health breakdown. It's the music that kept me going. For some reason, music gave me strength to carry on. And I forgive my mother, because she didn't really understand at that time what it means to be sectioned and put into a mental institute. They said that I've got paranoid schizophrenia. Well, my name is Devon Marston, and I was born in Kingston, Jamaica. In my heart that keeps on burning. There's a fire in my heart, I pray. There's a joy in my life that keeps me. My mother found out that I was living in a squat in Battersea, and she'd just come over from Jamaica, come back from holiday, and she said, my brother said he knows where I am. So he found me in a squat and said, come home, Devon, because Mum's got some stuff for you, just come back. But, he tricked me to get me home. So I went round that evening, and she was cooking a meal, and I had a meal with her. And then not long after that, the doctor came, and then the doctor started to examine me. And I was thinking, what's he examining me for? There's nothing wrong with me. So he said, well, okay then, Devon, well, let's see what we can do for you. But I didn't really understand what she was talking about because I was fine. Anyway, after the doctor examined me, another doctor came, rang at the bell at the door, and it was a duty doctor from the hospital. I knew this afterwards, but at the time, I didn't know who the doctor was. Because at that time, my mind wasn't set upon like hospitals or mental health. I knew nothing about that. I was not in that circle at all. But I trusted my mum. And my mum's sister that was there, she said to me, don't worry, Devon, go with them and take the treatment. So I'm thinking, something's wrong with me, but I don't know, but I trust my mum and my aunt because they love me. Before we left to go into the ambulance, the police came as well at the door. And then they took me to the local hospital, Springfield Hospital. Yes, I came to London when I was 7. I lived in Hurstfield Road, which is in Wandsworth. In them days, black people, it was hard for them to get their own place and even to get employment. Everywhere you went, you used to see signs on the windows, no blacks, no Irish, no dogs. Mum was working nights as auxiliary nurse, and Dad was working as a charge hand in a mechanic department of a big industry. Well, what it was, when I left school, I had qualifications, but I couldn't find a job with my qualifications. I decided to move out because my friends were like, I can relate to them, but I couldn't relate to my parents because they're from a different background, a different generation. So I made friends with some of my Rastafarian brethren, and we used to look for a place to live in Battersea, and we decided that we want to squat in flats. That's how I got involved in Rastafarians, and that was my religion at the time. And but my mum thought this was bad. I shouldn't be a Rastafarian. In them days, if you're a Rastafarian, people would despise you. They would think very low of you because your hair was long and you're smoking marijuana, and people were thinking, oh, he's a madman, he's smoking. It was the music that was keeping us going in that time. The music gave us life. It gave us a purpose. It gave us something to look forward to. It strengthened us. When we listened to Bob Marley, Dennis Brown music, the words they were singing was uplifting. Because don't forget, earlier on, back when I came to this country, there's a lot of racism. But when I listened to the music when I was a Rastafarian, it told me, don't worry about that. Be strong. Build yourself up. Have confidence. believe in God. Don't go that way. Do it this way. Do it the right way. So that music taught me and brought me up. And thank God, I'm still playing that music now. I remember it very well. It was a Wednesday night, about 8 o'clock, because I remember what was on the TV at that time. It was a doctor's program that I used to like to watch. So that's why I remembered it was Wednesday night. And they took me onto the ward. And then after a while, the police left. My mum said, I'll see you then, Devon, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm thinking, no, I must stay here, there's something wrong. I don't know where he's I'll stay. Anyway, they left. And the doctor said, that's your bed over there, Devon. Take these clothes, and that would be your bed and your cupboard's there. So I took the clothes, and then I sat on the bed. I don't know what happened to me, but I was shattered, I was tired, because a lot of things went on that night. It was very stressful, and everything was done so quickly. It was like I couldn't control it. I couldn't say, no, I don't want this, or no, you got it wrong. Everything was just done quickly to get me into hospital for some reason. Anyway, so I fell asleep on the bed, and then in the middle of the night, I remember waking up and seeing the night light on the ceiling of the hospital, the blue light, and it was dark, all the other lights were out. I hear people snoring, coughing. And when I looked through the window near my bed, I saw a flower garden, like a big flower garden, and the flowers were beautiful. And I'm thinking, have I died and gone to heaven? You know, the flowers were beautiful. And I'm thinking, this is a strange place. It's quiet, peaceful. And I went over to the ward office, and I saw the nurse there, just dozing off. And I said, excuse me, love, but I think you got it wrong. I'm not supposed to be, something's gone wrong, you've got the wrong person. And then she pressed the buzzer on your desk, and then all of a sudden I look back, I see 4 big white guys running down the corridor. And they were looking at me, ran down, they got me on the floor, like in a rugby tackle. And they got me on the floor, held my arm behind my back, start twisting me, get me in a lock. I'm trying to escape. And I'm thinking to myself, I've got to fight these guys, this is my life I'm fighting for. And they held me down. And then I saw when the nurse came, and she got the injection, the needle, and she jabbed it into my side. And then from that, I don't know what happened, I was out for a count. I woke up 4 days later. And after that, my life left me. I could feel my soul left me. I wasn't the same person like I was before. The feeling that I had inside of me was a different feeling. It made me feel different. It wasn't me again. They didn't tell my parents about it either. And that day they took me to another hospital in the countryside to put things on my head to see if there's anything wrong with my brain or give me shock treatment. And then they brought me back to Springfield again the same day. And then not long after that, it gave me side effects. It made me crawl on all fours. I was on the ward on all fours. I couldn't stand up. It affected me physically. And after a while, it made me put a lot of weight on. Made my stomach big. It made my face look bloated out. It wasn't me at all. It was the powerful drugs they gave me. And I couldn't defend myself. And no one knew about it. They didn't tell my parents. But they covered it up. But in them days, there was a lot of that going on. And that's how I got into the mental health system, actually. I stayed on the ward for at least 6 or 8 months. And then after that, they discharged me to go home to stay with my parents' place. And then from my parents' place every day, I had to come back to the hospital, to the day hospital, the cottage day hospital, Springfield, to do therapy groups. And I used to meet people there with mental health problems. And these people, I never knew these people before. And the doctors used to come and say, are you all right, Devon? You feel all right today? And I'm thinking, what's he talking about? I'm fine. Nothing's wrong with me. You know. But the reason why I felt that way, it was because of that powerful drug that it gave me when I was unconscious. It changed me. In a way, it gave me mental health problems. Before that, I was all right. But after that, I was a different person. The reason why I call myself the wounded healer, because I was wounded. And I'm using those wounds to heal. Simple as that. I'm healing myself and healing other people using my own wounds, which is mental health. Because I'm a member of Sound Minds, though, I use my music to help as treatment, to help myself and to help other people at Sound Minds. Because my music, when I play my music, it's quite therapeutic. and it gives me hope and strengthens me. Sound Minds is an arts charity for mental health, and we have all different arts projects within Sound Minds. We have live art. They also have Photoshop, where you can do your art on computer. We also have music technology courses and music technology sessions. We have live music. We've got like about 8 different bands. We have a rock band and a soul band, a blues band, a couple of reggae bands, and a jazz band at the moment, and a pop band. People with mental problem, that's why they get mental problem, because they're not loved, they're not cared for, so they don't feel worth it. They're mentally, you know, in your mind, if someone doesn't love you and you love them, it's hard. I don't think they don't understand how to love someone, because I don't know if their parents love them.